Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video, and this one is actually a very, very bullish video, regardless of how it may appear. I know if you're newer to investing, you wouldn't see how certain things is a good thing when it looks more negative and more toxic, but I mean, this still shows us that this paints a bigger picture, and I'm going to break it down for you in this video. But before we jump into it, be sure to drop a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated with everything going on. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So obviously we had the drop today and we were advertised on Disney. Disney literally advertised us to their fans. How many fans? Like 8 million people. So it was 8 million people on their Twitter and Disney advertised us to these people. This is obviously massive for the platform, being put in front of this many people. But the thing is, and this is where my criticisms of the Ecomi platform and the VeVe's platform, this is where I have to stick to my convictions when it comes down to certain things just should not happen, because we got advertised to 8 million people and it almost broke the app. Like it's been that's been the experience for the last couple of days. Now what happens if we get put on Hulu or I mean on Disney Plus? My bad Disney, my bad. Like, but what happens if we get put on Disney Plus, yo? They have over 100 million people on Disney Plus. We couldn't handle getting a tweet. Like, we couldn't handle the tweet. Like, you really want to be seen before a movie? Like, how can we make sense of being advertised before a movie or advertised, you know, on Disney Plus? Like, how can we make sense of that if we can't handle a tweet? So this is where I think that Ecomi has to stop dropping the ball. They have to stop dropping the ball, because I understand that everybody wants to give them a pass, and I'm very bullish on the project. I don't care if the app breaks down for the next year or so. Realistically, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I believe in this project. I believe it's going to get to where it needs to go. So me personally, I would still be here. The fact is, though, with all these other NFT projects, with all this competition and stuff, or things that's seen as competition popping up, other people will not have the same sentiment. Eventually, people are going to get tired and fed up and upset, and that's why we have so many trolls and stuff coming back around the community now. But this should be bullish, though, because we're able to see the mindset of these Disney fans. A lot of these people, they're not budging. It's still so many people uneducated. So let's take a look through these comments so you can actually see some of the things that we're seeing. And I know that it may look like a bad thing, but it absolutely is not. NFTs ruin the environment. This is literally scamming people for trash. This is what people think of NFTs right now. People don't know that there's different qualities, that there's different types of NFTs, there's different, like, people don't understand. People are still believing what they're marketed on TV right now, or that what they're marketed on whatever source of publication that they listen to or read, and they don't actually do their own due diligence. The world is not ready for this yet. I mean, it was similar things going on when the internet first came out. Obviously, there's always these crazy stories going on around advancements in technology, advancements in life. People don't like change, and people aren't ready for change. So they always think of bad, they always try to find a bad or a reason not to make that change and not to grow and not to adapt. But I mean, as an investor, we've learned to adapt. We've learned to grow. We've learned to, I mean, we've learned these things, but the rest of the world has not caught up. And you see the homie Hello K here. He says, incorrect. VeVe is carbon neutral and has less of an impact than making plastic collectibles. Just because first gen NFTs on a certain blockchain were less efficient doesn't mean the Disney ones are the same. And as you can see, K is organized. I mean, K is getting them right, letting them know what's going on. Let me show the homie some love there. And then he just, yeah. Then oh yeah, this is where K actually tagged me. He actually tagged me in this, yo. So shout out to the homie K, man. Like, this comment section is amazing. He said, hey, look at this NFT I got, and it's for free on my phone. So somebody screenshotted it, of course, and these people truly believe that it's the same thing. They believe that it's the equivalent. Like, and honestly, when you're in this space, it's absolutely, it's common sense that this is ridiculous. But I can see it from the other side. I can see it from the other side, because when you're on that side, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, we had to really wrap our head around this and educate ourselves. So we're so far ahead of so many people, but this is exactly where we want to be. We want to be in a position where you still have a ton of people. Like, look at this. This is one of the most liked ones we've seen so far. People, this is the sentiment. This is how people feel. And this is great. Like, it's great that people still feel like this, because that means we still have this opportunity to buy them up, because these people right here making these tweets and everybody liking this and stuff like that, a few years from now, once the world gets to where it's going to go, people gonna, yo, I had the opportunity to buy those and I thought it was a joke. Like, this is those people right now. And it's just, it's great. I mean, it's great that we are the people who understand. This man said, a Wally NFT. Way to completely take a dump on the whole meaning of that movie. Yes, it's way better to use all kinds of oil to make the plastic and transport the goods, and cut down 1,000 acres to make a cardboard packaging. Oh, by the way, the screen you're reading this on uses energy too, in case you don't know. I mean, listen, I mean, we got, like, the community got points, man. I get it. I get how people are getting the wrong. This is hard. A lot of education needs to take place. And how do you educate people who aren't ready to listen? I feel like time is the best teacher, because these people are going to get to a point where you have to miss out on opportunities like this in order to be open to having a mindset so you don't miss out again. If I would have never, like, I'm so thankful for my mishap and my failure with Netflix, investing in Netflix, because it opened my mind up to what investing should really be. And it put me in a position where I was ready to absorb the information this time around. Like, I started investing a while ago. Then I did it wrong, obviously, lost money. And now this time around, since being back in investing for what, like a year or so, I haven't really taken any L's. I don't take L's. And it's because I'm just much more experienced. I do much more due diligence, and then I hold. I understand the value of that. Warren Buffett had a lot of things right. And when Warren Buffett was just buying up something of value and just holding it for a long time, stocks took him like, what, 60 years? Crypto moves a hell of a lot faster. So people out here thinking that flipping is, like, Warren Buffett has shown you. Warren Buffett has shown you. And in the crypto space, what Warren Buffett did can happen a hell of a lot faster. I'm gonna just put it that way. Imagine making an NFT about a film that the main plot was that humans didn't take care of the earth properly. And look at this, 1.5 thousand likes. Like, this is why this is super bullish. This is how early we are. The guy has no idea what he's talking about whatsoever, and you have 1.5 thousand people who agree with this. That says it all right there. That says it all. Imagine thinking plastic toys are better for the environment than carbon neutral NFTs. Let's see. Imagine being brainwashed and deep into the scam enough to seriously believe the opposite. So, I mean, look, as you can see, this has 400 plus likes. So they think that we're on the side of the scam. And this is human nature. It's human nature to judge what you don't understand more so than look for understanding. I mean, if everybody looked for understanding, looked for answers, and did their due diligence, we would have a much better world, because people would be a lot smarter. But people don't take the time to educate, and it's not because people are dumb and incapable of being educated. It's because people are ignorant and don't want to be educated. So you have situations like this where people think, oh, nope, I'm not falling for the scam. I'm not stupid enough to fall for this scam. And then they're going to realize down the line they were stupid to not do their research. And it happens. This is just this human nature. It happens. Do you believe the scam is that they are / will be worthless, or the carbon neutral argument? Both are true. NFTs are a scam and terrible for the environment. So, and then, like, this is the point where you talk to one of these guys and they need to explain how, and they wouldn't be able to. How are they a scam? Do you know the purpose of them? What's the use case? How does this impact the world? And how will this change your future inevitably? Because the fact of the matter is, it is going to change. It's going to change the world. So this just, like, these people who constantly agree with the dumb stuff that's being said, they just will not be ready for this big shift that comes into the world. So, like, I see how many people are super passionate about trying to convert these people and things like that. But honestly, I wouldn't be under these comment sections doing all this with random people, yo. People just gonna have to learn the hard way. Like, when the world changes and they miss this once in a lifetime opportunity, it's just gonna have to hit them. They have to do that. Like, they have to go through that. And yeah, I mean, if you argue with enough people every single day, maybe you convert maybe one person and wakes one person up. But what value does that bring to you? Like, you could be getting yourself to a higher level and learning a little bit more. But, like, when somebody wants to pursue the knowledge and they come to you, that's completely different. But these people don't want it. I remember when people had their own physical copies of CDs and DVDs because they needed that tangible ownership. Eventually, people became comfortable with digital music and media. Wonder if NFTs will be similar over time on some assets once major environmental issues are resolved, of course. Cloud streaming never claims that you own the movie. NFTs and crypto do. And I mean, this is a great area right now. Companies are just now getting comfortable letting NFTs, like letting their IP go to people, like, because technically we have these NFTs, we own these NFTs. We should be able to take them where we want, do what we want with them. Like if we wanted to put our NFT in a whole porno right now, we should have that option because it's ours, right? But is an IP actually going to let us do that with it? But so that is this gray area right now where we don't have true ownership, even though we have ownership. Like, so it's like, what do we actually have right now? So this is, and people like to make this argument against Ecomi, like, are they real NFTs? Do you really have ownership and stuff like that? Because other NFT projects don't have this problem. Other NFT projects don't have brands worth having this problem. These brands are completely unknown. If you put it in a porno, that's promotion. Like, what do you mean? If you put one of these in one, it's like everyone knows what that is already, and it looks bad on that brand because it's a brand that actually matters. The majority of these NFT projects, I mean, you put it in anything, you're just happy that someone's seeing it because it's nothing without people seeing it. These, like, VeVe has some of the most valuable assets in the world, so they're taking on some of the most difficult projects or some of the most difficult problems in the world that no one else has ever seen, no one else has ever dealt with. There's nobody that they can look to for advice about how to do this and manage this and how to make something happen, because what they're doing has never been done in the history of the world before. So there's going to be hiccups. That's why I'm so understanding when it comes down to this company. Even though it's some annoying situations and things like that that happens at times, I'm still understanding because I get it. I really get that these people, they're doing something insane, yo. They're doing something that's really going to change the world forever. There's a lot of Disney people that are uneducated on NFTs. VeVe, unhappy with this. Unhappy with this. I mean, I'm very happy with the fact people are uneducated on NFTs because that means the opportunity is still there with me, there for me. Eventually these guys are going to come, they're going to come around. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. The second that somebody they respect really starts to dive into NFTs and realize what it is, that's the second that they jump on board. So this movement is not going anywhere. This movement is not going anywhere at all. So people are going to have to get educated, or they're going to get left behind, or they're going to go and buy a house and be like, no, I'm not going to buy that house. NFT, that's a scam. You trying to scam me? Like, this is what's going to happen. So yeah, anyone who's concerned about carbon emissions, these NFTs don't require mining. They use as much energy as your Twitter. Compare this to manufacturing 5 million golden moments, packaging and transporting them, not to mention disposal. The digital way is a no-brainer. Writing on the blockchain doesn't require minting. Are you even hearing yourself right now? So this is like, obviously he does not know what he's talking about. He hasn't done research. He doesn't care to. People just think that they know what they know. And it's people who try to argue with me day in and day out every single day. And this is how it is. People would rather argue and not understand what they're talking about than to do the research, because that's one thing that I've noticed in the community, and that's why I stopped arguing as much as I used to argue with people. I noticed that they can't really take your points and say, okay, this is not proof that this is possible. This is not proof. That's not proof. And this is why. These things don't make sense. They can't say that what you're saying doesn't make sense. They can't break down why each piece doesn't make sense, because it does. They just feel like something's not going to happen, or it's not true. I mean, your logic cannot argue with somebody's feelings. Like, it just does not make sense. Somebody's emotions clouds their mental capacity to make logical decisions. It's over with. Like, there's no point in even attempting a conversation with them, because their emotions are going to get the best of them. As a lifelong fan of Disney, I'm disgusted that you guys are doing this. NFTs are dangerous for the environment despite claims to the contrary, and a useless way of telling people they own art that they don't actually own. Please stop doing this. No more NFTs, down with crypto. So you have people that's saying down with crypto, yet they don't have any problems with the world that they're living in right now today. All the problems that crypto is solving and all the problems that NFTs are solving, people just are not ready to advance. Imagine back when in the early days of the world when people were riding on horses and They were like the first person who started making a car and started driving around. Imagine what was the first thing said about that. Did you ride in a metal box? Nah, I want this horse. Like, no, the metal box is evil. It's the devil. Look at his eyes. Like, yet you'll ride around on a beast that's running all day that can trip and fall. Like, yo, actually, horses is fire, low key. Why they don't never trip, bro? Like, why horses don't trip? That's a completely random. Like, but I mean, why? Like, they some beasts. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, man. People just it's hard for people to accept change. You can pretty much see where this is going, man. This is a horrible partnership. Vivi is very unprofessional, and I personally will not support you in this. There are thousands unhappy about every drop so far. Bad choice. So as you can see, you have people who actually know who Vivi is, and then you have the Vivi haters. You have the people who are too stupid to realize that Vivi is doing something that has never been done before in the history of the world. They're a startup company. They're a small company, a startup, doing things that's this massive. And people don't want to be understanding about that. People want to think that this is some multi-billion-dollar company. And it's like, no. These are little guys. These are guys no different from me and you. Like, these are little guys who came together and did something way bigger than themselves, and they're making that shit work. And people don't want to show respect to that. People want to sit around and cry on the internet all day. So, I mean, that being said, you can see the type of people we have in this comment section, and it makes me so much more bullish because so many people will continue to sleep on this project, allowing me to pack my bags more and more and more. Every chance I get, I'm stacking a little bit more money in my bags. I'm filling up. I'm filling up as much as possible because we already know what's going to happen. It's inevitable. And by the time the rest of the world knows what happens, we're all going to be sitting in a very, very different lifestyle. Every single person who has stuck with this project. And that's just in my opinion. Not financial advice, of course, but that's my opinion of what's going to happen in the future. And I mean, check my track record of my opinions. That being said, be sure to drop a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you stay updated with everything going on. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you all in the next one. Peace out, Joe.